So you want to start a YouTube channel? Then you better watch this video. Otherwise, you might spend years without getting to any meaningful point. Today, I have a super special guest, Benjamin, who has been a full-time YouTuber since his channel had only 86 subscribers. Welcome, Ben. Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Excited to be here.
Ben and I have history. He's actually my YouTube editor. And we just finished a pop-up coaching program together in my community. And we thought it might be extremely helpful for you to actually give you all the tips and tricks and insights and the thinking that you need to have when you want to start a YouTube channel as a side hustle, as a strategy to grow your business, right? Something that really adds to your life beyond being a super meaningful hobby. So Ben, maybe we can start with your community story, and then maybe we can also tell people how on earth were you full-time on YouTube with only 86 subscribers?
Yeah, so I guess starting with the community, I've been following a lot of what you've been teaching in the YouTube and in Grow with Evelyn especially. I had a free community teaching people how to grow on YouTube, how to use YouTube for their business. And so following how I would launch a course in 2025, I now launched my community and it went really well, to say the least. I mean, you also then, after the initial launch period, helped out with your affiliate link as well. So in maybe 8 days, it went up to 105 members at $900 MRR.
That's pretty awesome. So you now have your school community where you teach people, how to grow on YouTube. You're my editor, but you also are super young, right? So you're only 20 years old. How does a 20-year-old kind of get to this position? Like, what's your backstory?
When I was 10, I was making Minecraft videos in my room. Since then, basically, I wanted to become a YouTuber. Now, I didn't reach millions of subscribers. I didn't reach even 100,000 subscribers. I had my somewhat bigger channels, but that never really led to anywhere. What it did lead me to was finding out that I'm pretty decent at video editing, though, and that if you save someone else time, they might give you money for it. And that's basically the direction I eventually went into, working for different people, and then obviously also for you as a video editor. That's what then finally made me do this jump from like, okay, not just making videos for fun, but it's actually an income now, a really good income.
That's so cool. And I think when we first talked, I think I must have found you on your first YouTube video. You actually left a comment under an interview where I was interviewed for a podcast, and I felt like, this face looks familiar, because I actually had seen you around in the school games community. It was just purely out of curiosity, like this face looks familiar. Then you had a really engaging YouTube title and thumbnail, and so I was like, I was supposed to work, and then I was like, oh, I need to check this out. So I was watching it, and then you were talking about your offer and your story, and I was like, I kind of need an editor. And I've been burned before, because to actually find an editor that understands how educational content needs to be edited is extremely hard, right? So we're both in the educational niche. We don't need to Mr. Beastify our videos, etc. And I find it extremely hard to find good editing. And so I loved how your video was edited. That made me reach out, and then we started working together. Maybe we can talk to that about, you had bigger channels that were basically passion channels, right? And then you had like this really small channel that you were able to monetize quickly. And when we had the first conversation, I know you must have still been like in a corporate job, right? And now you're somewhere in Indonesia? No.
I'm in Vietnam at the moment.
Okay.
So I did have those passion channels that one of them was at 20,000 subscribers. Didn't really earn me any money though. It was kind of just whatever. And so when I started that new channel, what I really focused on there was really just making content about what I have to offer, which was the video editing and the YouTube strategy behind it. And so over the first few videos, I already managed to get inbound traffic of people asking me, hey, I saw your video. Can we work together? Now I was super lucky to have you on the first video. No one saw that coming, but yeah, with 86 subscribers or something like that, I already had like a client base where I was like, okay, this is something that I can go into full time. I was in basically, it's a mix between uni and working a job at the same time. So I was like, I'm out of here. I'm doing my own thing now.
Oh yeah, so you also quit university as well?
Yeah, I quit both at once.
That's pretty brave. Like, are you concerned that it will come back and bite you later that you did that?
I don't think so. I can always go back to what I was gonna do. That's basically my main argument. Like, I don't have anyone depending on me at the moment. So if this does fail, then I would just like have to go back to what I was doing. That would be the worst case scenario at the moment.
Oh, I love that you basically did the fear mapping, like what is the worst that can happen, and the worst is like it is again the way it is right now. So
exactly,
that's pretty cool. What's your strategic thinking behind when somebody really wants to build a client getting channel, right? Versus like maybe an influencer channel or gaming channel or some other niche.
So what I did with that channel was really just making videos about the offer itself. I wasn't like in the video, message me right now, but I was kind of documenting me creating it from scratch. And I actually watched it again today. It's embarrassing watching it back, what I was even thinking there. But I mean, it worked, so that's great. One of the main differences between creating videos that are just going to get views versus ones that are going to convert is the intention that you have behind them. If you want to get a lot of views and make videos about trends, then it's going to get a lot of views. And if you don't care about views and just care about reaching the right people and showing them that you have something to offer that is of value to them, then it can be very powerful.
I totally see that. And I think when I look at my videos, I always create them with the intention of retaining more of my existing members. And because that also makes me talk about the membership and, you know, where are things and what strategy does this belong to, it also kind of naturally attracts new customers. So since working with me, you basically got to know my nurture strategy for YouTube, right? So maybe you can speak to growing, like a growth strategy versus a nurture strategy, and how you see, because we got that question during our pop-up program, should people be doing ads or YouTube if they want to grow fast?
In this reverse organic, how you call it, strategy, YouTube is really just the nurture and sometimes conversion event or mechanism that gets people back into the membership, gets people to check out the membership. But most of the new traffic actually comes from ads. So it's ads into an email list, for example, and then from the email list, sending the traffic to YouTube to nurture and build trust, build connection with the audience. Because YouTube is really better than any other social media there. If you want to grow, then you can grow on Insta, you can grow on TikTok, whatever. But if you really want to connect with your audience and build trust, then YouTube is the #1 platform to do that, because people watch you for minutes, maybe even hours in some cases.
I think what I see is like YouTube is the best long term, and there's a big learning curve with becoming a content creator that can drive a lot of views for a topic that is close enough to an offer that it actually converts really fast, right? So it's like a long game of months, if not years, if you only rely on traffic from the platform, right? So being found in search or getting browsed. So when somebody is also adding in effort on platforms that are quicker to respond, like for example, Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, may that be organic or with ads, both of them work so well together, because one can have this quick reaction, capturing the attention, and then funneling it over to YouTube where the real connection and conversion can happen. So your YouTube is almost like a sales funnel. Your videos are almost like video sales letters, but the difference is that you provide like genuine value and you're teaching people something. So I saw this in Hormosi's video the other day, where he said why Martha Stewart was the first influencer and she had such a big impact on people, because she taught people how to do recipes, like step-by-step instructions first. And so people were trained by her to follow her recommendations kind of step by step. And that's why it was so impactful. Do you think that the step-by-step, like teaching people something in the YouTube videos, that's the biggest differentiator between educational content versus content that is more maybe focused towards growing an audience, but not really making money?
I think yes, that's definitely part of it. But I would also say that a big difference is that educational content is mostly going to be from the view of we have some kind of goal in common that we want to reach, and it's going to be content about helping you reach that goal. So it's not necessarily always step by step, and your videos are often also not step by step, but like maybe general advice or what to do, not how to do it. And then the how to do it is, for example, in Grow with Evelyn, kind of having that difference, but everything is towards that one goal that everyone wants to achieve.
Honestly, I need to highlight this because this is such a smart frame and I never put it in these words. And I think it would help many of my members so much to understand how to umbrella think of their videos. Because right now they still think like in topic islands, right? But they don't think like directionally with my audience, I'm moving towards this goal. So that's a really good exercise actually for you to think through. It's like, what shared goal do I have with my audience? What sub goals can we break it down into? There's one thing that you said, I said like the what we do, but then the how we do it is in Growth Evident. So I find that it's actually the best when also the how we do it is on the YouTube channel. So basically the difference between what's in Grow with Evelyn and what's on my YouTube channel is within this umbrella of everything is towards monetizing your personal growth journey, right? With education offers, like all of the topics we have, they pay into this and they're fully handled, right? So somebody can get a transformation from that video alone. So they don't.
That's true.
Yeah. So, and I think that's really important, because otherwise I think it feels to people like you're always just stringing the carrot along. And that I think builds like a lot of mistrust. So it's like small units done completely, and people don't know like where do they fit into the overall journey, right? So it's like, oh, this was super helpful. Oh, this was super helpful. But in Grow with Evelyn, like, here's all the steps, right? And here's where this YouTube video fits in, right? And then it's like very interesting pieces of the blueprint that are kind of suited for YouTube and that are more entertaining. With that, they pull people back into the membership as well, where they have like the bigger context. And with that, it also doesn't cannibalize the membership. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I mainly just meant it's not going to be videos like, here's how you set up your MailerLite account, and here's how you do this setting and this setting, because most are going to be a bit bigger picture and not that tiny specific.
Oh, that's also smart. So not like a step-by-step tutorial, which probably gets you a lot of search traffic, right? But
it's going to get surf traffic, yeah. But if that's not the goal, then there's no point in it.
What I think like is challenging about search traffic, just because I also had, I unlisted like a lot of videos because they were getting a lot of views, but harming my channel, either because it was not the right topic or not the right avatar, or search traffic that did not necessarily convert into sales. So for example, when I now make search-based videos, like you said, they still need to be like educating about the membership, etc. So I think that can also backfire, because you're like, oh, I'm getting a lot of views. I'm doing more of these videos that people are looking for, but then it actually backfires. So basically your concept, and I learned this from you, right? So you taught me that. I tried so many things on YouTube, but I think you were the person that really helped me understand it, that the packaging is first, and how we're finding the packaging. And then with the right packaging, it becomes this educational, also teaching you, also inspirational kind of hybrid video. So maybe can you walk us through that process?
What I see a lot of people doing is they just start record and then they upload the video, and then they think, what title could I add? And then maybe not even upload a thumbnail at all. I mean, doing that, then not doing anything is probably better. So I don't want to add like too much of a barrier here. But what works really well on YouTube is having titles and thumbnails that fit into the YouTube format. Look at videos that are performing really well already, and then take the title format and make it your own. So if we have a video like starting a clothing brand in 2025 is simple, actually, free course. That's a title that performed really well. Then it could be starting a school community in 2025 is simple, actually, free course. So kind of stealing the packaging from other people and then bringing your own value to the table.
Yeah, so you look at the title, right? It doesn't even have to be in your niche, just has to be a video that performs really well. And then you don't watch the video because you don't want to copy. It's just the pure format. And then the format forces the content to be a certain way so it does live up to the promise, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do an example. So if you were to use this title now with the intention to grow your YouTube community, how would you do the title? And then what would you say in the video? Like, how would you tie it back?
If it's about my audience, then I would make it starting a YouTube channel in 2025 is simple, actually. So this is the thumbnail and the title that I would copy it from, starting a clothing brand, and then it's starting a YouTube channel in 2025 is simple, actually. Then it's really just about following up on that title, not watching this, but just giving the steps of, okay, here's the overview of what I would do. And then at the end of the video, if you want to learn more about how exactly to do this, either linking back to another video that you made or linking to the community in the description.
Awesome. So we don't also in those educational videos, right? Because we really want to fill up that reciprocity bucket and build a relationship. We don't do aggressive call outs, right? So we don't do like aggressive selling or anything. We really just want to connect. Okay, that's really cool. That's actually such a good one. Now with the thumbnail, like how closely do you try to be towards this thumbnail, and what could you do right now with YouTube if you would want to recreate this?
I probably couldn't recreate this exactly because there's like a lot of clothes in the background and then color palettes. One way where it is possible to do that would be like showing something on the laptop, like showing a YouTube channel. But often what we also do with your videos is just have a person on the side, have some text on the other side that accompanies or is complementary to the title. So starting a YouTube channel in 2025 is simple, actually. And then it could just say on the thumbnail, maybe it's easier than you think, or this will change your life. One of those two, for example, something that adds more curiosity to the title that people want to click more.
Really cool. So do you ever kind of plan out your full channel and how the videos go together? Is that something that you would recommend when somebody sets up their channel?
I think it would add too much friction. Like, let's say you record a video and then at the end of the video, you feel like, oh, this would lead very well into another topic. Then you can say, and watch this video next. Once it's out on the channel, it'll be on the end screen, for example. So having these watch sessions is really good to have. Planning everything out in advance, also because you might not even like that plan that you have anymore in a month's time. So I would just go with, what have you recently been working on? What have you been helping people with? And then report back from within the community, for example.
Awesome. I think that's really good. You talk a lot about reducing friction. So why is that so important?
Because I feel like not starting and not being consistent is the number one thing keeping people back from growing and from nurturing, from doing everything they want, basically. So breaking down that big goal of, okay, I need to upload a YouTube video, into what does this even mean? And it doesn't need to be perfect. And I can just get started and I can improve over time. By lowering the barrier to entry, it makes it easier to get more progress and faster by having more feedback loops.
So basically, like, you first just establish the habit of uploading and you don't even care, right? And I think it's also so interesting that you don't like that video from which I hired you, because that was great, right? And so we're always so critical with ourselves, I think. So either people don't see it, so it doesn't matter, or people don't judge you, so it doesn't matter, right? People are not so critical like you are. Or there's some trolls and then they are not doing anything better with their life than, attacking somebody who does take action. So it also doesn't matter. So I think nothing matters. The only thing you need to do is upload. And you can always go back. There's certain videos, like there's a lot of videos on my channel that don't fit my strategy anymore, or I just don't like out there anymore. So you can go back and you can unlist later. Although when I did unlist my videos, I actually saw a huge drop in sales, because I underestimated how many people, after they saw my ads, would actually look up my name and watch YouTube to basically see if I'm a real person. So again, kind of this goes back to low trust economy that we're currently in, and spending more time with people. Let's maybe do a quick rapid fire. All the mistakes that you see, your top, how many you can do in 1 minute, as in like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that.
All right. Don't use your webcam to record. You can use it to get started, but switch to the back camera of your phone as soon as possible. Don't overcomplicate editing. Try to, for example, share your screen, share a Miro board, share something, show something with your hands. YouTube is a visual platform and people don't want to only listen. Again, just get started, but that would be one of the first changes to make. Think about the title and thumbnail a lot before you upload the video, or before you even get into the recording progress. Don't script your video word by word. You're going to stutter and it's going to feel robotic. You're not going to feel like a real person. When the goal is to build trust, you need to be yourself on video. Try to loosen up. Imagine that the camera is actually a person you're talking to. You're not talking to a lens, but you're talking to your best friends, to a potential customer. Those are the main ones.
You always say about audio. I also...
audio is more important than video. That's true. Yeah. These are kind of okay. These are like kind of the minimum. If you just record with your phone or with your webcam, having the microphone further away from you is going to make the audio worse. So investing in some low budget microphone might definitely be worth it.
And maybe you can also give, like, as a tip, like, you have this habit. I also copied that from you. Spend like a certain time to just research titles and think about it.
So what you can do for ideation, because ideation is something people get stuck on a lot as well, is creating a Miro board or a Notion document, Google document, where you just screenshot videos that perform really well. You can use an extension like vidIQ, where it's going to show you which videos are performing well with this little X tag. And you can screenshot these videos and add them to a collection and turn the video titles into titles that you can use yourself. I posted 4,564 Instagram Reels, and this is what I learned. I did lots of things, or impressive thing, and this is what I learned. This is what happened. It's a very simple formula that you could now apply to any niche. Using this to come up with ideas is going to be very easy, and it's not going to take that much time.
How often do you do that?
Depends on how much I want to upload, but if I'm just bored, I do it sometimes. If I scroll through YouTube and I see something good, I just screenshot it and add it later. It's definitely also possible to do this like as a weekly routine, or I think you mentioned that you do it on your treadmill every now and then, whatever works.
Okay, last question. I've heard you saying many, many times, YouTube can change your life. If you can send a message that hopefully gets more people to just get started, what would you tell them?
For me, it's an extreme example because it literally changed my life from start to finish. It's the one thing that allowed me to do everything that I wanted to do. So I went from basically being in uni where I didn't really like the thing I was studying. I was in a job that was super boring to me. And because of putting out content, because of just trying really, even when I don't like the video anymore, I could have been like, oh, I don't like this video, I'm not going to post it or whatever. But by doing that first step, by posting, it allowed me to do everything else. Like people came to me for editing, which is what I do. It allowed me to build this business. So I really do want to tell you, like, YouTube is such a powerful tool. If you spend time with people on YouTube, they're going to trust you more. They're going to want your services, your communities, spend more time with you. And it's one of the best things you can do. Just get started.
Thank you so much. I think Ben is just getting started, although, for his young age, I mean, a lot of people want to be in, where are you, in Vietnam with 20, right? Basically you're working out on the beach. I always see you on Instagram, like working out on the beach, working from the cafe. And I was far away from that in my 20s. Like, take his advice. I think you're just getting started. Thank you so much for sharing your tips and insights and story with us. And yeah, which video should we link on this one?
The reverse organic video. Content is a lie, and it's basically going to outline the entire process of what Evelyn uses. And as you know, it's very effective with, how much was it? 7 million in sales, over 33,000.
We crossed 8 million, but I don't have
8 million.
One screenshot from school, so now it's 8 million.
So watch that video next. It's going to be right here on the end screen.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much, too.